From the beautiful French Riviera, as backdrops and locations go for racing, it doesn't get much better than this. And we've had incredible support so far for the athletes, and you can bet the noise is going to go up as France's reigning Olympic champion Cassandre Beaugrand takes to the streets of Saint-Raphael and Periault. Well, this is our 5th race of 8 on the calendar, and here's how the season has unfolded. It started back in February in Abu Dhabi, an all-German podium there. Lisa Tertsch, though, on the top step. Then we made our way to a very wet Yokohama, where Jeanne Lehair got her first ever World Series win. To Alghero, and a victory for Cassandre Beaugrand. But in the last race in Hamburg, she didn't have it all her own way, and it was another Frenchwoman, Leonie Periault, who took the victory. We're then, of course, here on the French Riviera, and hard to look past Vicky, Cassandre Beaugrand.
Yeah, I mean, the reigning, defending Olympic and world champion. She's an absolute star of triathlon and a star of French sport. Having her here is really exciting. But, of course, wearing the number 1 still is Beth Potter, yet to win this year. So she'll be looking for her first victory too.
Yeah, we mentioned Emma Lombardi, 8th in Hamburg. I'm sure she'll be hoping to go a few spots better today on the French Riviera.
We can't forget, of course, Leonie Periault, the third of that very, very successful French trio. Winner last time out in Hamburg. She's going to be looking to repeat too. On home roads, she lives and trains around here.
Strong German contingent as ever. Julia Brücker, Franka Roost as well.
Yes, so many German athletes on the circuit these days. They're really having to fight to get their starts at this level of racing, but wouldn't be surprised to see one or more Germans right at the top of the racing today.
Well, this is how it currently looks in the standings. Beth Potter leads the way, but with Cassandre Beaugrand only having 2 completed races on the board. If she wins here today, she would sit on 2,925 points, just shy of the maximum 3,000 points available. And this race really could shake things up in the standings. So away we go here on the French Riviera, a 750-metre swim up first for our athletes.
That is Cassandre Beaugrand in that first yellow hat there. Number 2 right next to her, that is Lisa Tertsch as well. Lisa Tertsch, we should say, improved her swim massively over the last 12 months. It was always considered her weakness, but she's done such a great job at turning herself into an all-round athlete that she's always there or thereabouts now coming out the water. All the groups converge as they come round that first turn, boy.
Yeah, Jeanne Lehair also just past the boy. She's definitely up there. We see most of the yellow cap are near the front, so all the favorites are wearing yellow cap. The top 10 actually, only Tilda Manson you can see on top of your screen now with the yellow cap. But what a good runner she is.
That was such a good shot, wasn't it? You just saw how congested it was right in the middle of the pack.
If Jess Fullaga is near the front, I think she'll be keen on pushing that bike, and Olivia Mathias will be also part of this breakaway and willing to try to distance the best runners. Yeah, we do have a nickname for Jess. We call her Fuller Watts. Because, yeah, she is a really powerful rider, and I guess she'll be keen to show what she has in the legs at the minute.
Maybe there's a little bit of daylight there at around about the 7th, 8th place. But this is where transition comes in as so important in short course racing. They're going to have to hammer it through transition. This is their opportunity to make the break go.
So the athletes reach dry land, and like we said, it's a decent run this, all the way to the first transition zone. Split transitions here on the French Riviera, I should say.
Leonie Periault 20 seconds down. It's actually a good swim for her. She can maybe make some ground, same as Beth on the transition, like really smooth transition now on screen by Cassandre, and Rosa Tapia is also a really fast runner. So yeah, I guess all the girls are here ready for a good show on the bike, hopefully a breakaway like the men did.
What I can tell you is that there were 14 athletes in that front pack with just then a short gap back to Summer Rappaport of 6 seconds, and Leonie Periault was only 10 seconds behind the front group at the last timing split that we had. So it's a real make or break moment for an athlete like Leonie Periault.
Now on screen, that's the 3rd group, I believe, with Katja Scher, but she's
yeah,
an absolute machine on the bike, and she's definitely going to bridge to that 2nd group.
So there are 13 athletes in the front. Desiree Ridenour did make it back on. 14th place is Leonie Periault. That gap is 17 seconds from the back of the front pack to the front of the chase back, but every single time it is Leonie Periault on the front, so she's doing a huge amount of work to put herself back in contention in this race. But there were long straight sections where at points they were all three across the road, and that to me shows that they're not all really working as hard as they could be.
And that is a really good indication of just how far back the next group is. Very much in their sights.
This has all come together now as they've gone round that U-turn.
That happened quickly, didn't it?
They have connected with the front of the race, so that is going to be a huge gap, huge group, now that when we're going to get an update, they've all made it to the front of the race. All that work from the front group, unfortunately, has not paid off. I'm really impressed with how Cassandre Beaugrand's handled these last few kilometres as well. She's put herself right at the front, so we can see Beth Potter in the middle of the shot there, but on her, well, on the right of screen in that white hat, that is Cassandre Beaugrand, and she led for much of the last couple of kilometres of the race to make sure she was right at the front coming into T2. And it is Emma Lombardi running first through transition. You can see Lisa Tertsch just there on the left of screen as well. Cassandre Beaugrand always looks like she's jogging even though she's not. Coming into transition, and again, look at this, she'll be smooth and she'll be slick. Jeanne Lehair, Vince mentioned it a couple of times, very, very quick through transition. So there we go, our leaders are already out.
Yeah, we've seen also Maya Kingma did not have the best of transition. I assume she was at the front hitting the transition, but then she was almost last after, maybe also a bit rusty. Yeah, Lombardi leading, she is definitely back and showing those girls that they should not forget about her.
It's no surprise, is it, to see Cassandre Beaugrand back at the front of racing, but it is fantastic to see Emma Lombardi back after a year massively impacted by health problems, and just tucked in behind them there, that's Jeanne Lehair as well. So all three of these women, incredibly experienced medalists, multiple medalists on the World Series, although Jeanne Lehair, I should say, has one win and no other podiums, so she's only hit the podium once, but when she's hit it, she's won. Slowly but surely, Leonie Periault is making contact with the front of the race, and we know what kind of run form she was in. She was imperious in Hamburg, the way she ran that day. And she's showing once again that she is absolutely an in-form athlete. And while her swim was just a little bit off today, she worked hard all day long on that bike leg, gave up some time in transition, but is so close now to making it back to the very front of the race. These three girls have been able to work together, take turns in the lead, in the wind, whereas Leonie's having to do it all on her own to try and make it back up to the front of the race. And yeah, if you ever needed a lesson in why transition and positioning going into transition is important, it's playing out in front of us right now.
You would have thought Beth Potter being in that group, she would have had something to say about what's happening at the front now, but yeah, you're right, Vince. She's sort of hovering in that 5th, 6th, 7th spot right now.
Jeanne is starting to really put in a gap back to Cassandre and another gap back to Emma Lombardi, so she's obviously feeling like this could be another day for a top step on the podium.
Definitely, if you want to beat Cassandre, I think you do have to make that move early, and that's what Jeanne is doing. But yeah, there's still a lap to go, and it's still a long time to go until they see that finish line.
Well, that's it. Right now, the top four, we've got 3 French and someone who has dual nationality French. So this is a real battle for the home fans. They're going to be loving every minute of this. This is the moment that Jeanne is digging again. This is incredible work from Jeanne Lehair. She went once. Cassandre Beaugrand got back to her. She's going again. Cassandre Beaugrand is coming again as they hit the blue carpet. They've got to come up to this turn and head back down to the finish.
One look over the shoulder and Cassandre Beaugrand makes potentially a very decisive move over Jeanne Lehair. She rounds that final corner, and Cassandre Beaugrand, right when it mattered, has just turned on the speed. The home fans, 5, 6, 7 deep, raising their arms in the air. Cassandre Beaugrand, the world and Olympic champion, wins here in the French Riviera. Jeanne Lehair comes home in second. My goodness me, what an amazing finish that was.
I think Periault just tipped off Lombardi.
She has. She's just caught her just in the last couple of 100 metres. So Leonie Periault having to fight all day long, but has just pipped her teammate Emma Lombardi to the post and takes home the final podium spot. Beth Potter.
Yeah, comes home in fourth. Nina Ayem in fifth. And that'll be Taylor Spivey in sixth.
Cassandra, in many ways, this was another mini Olympics. The pressure on this home race and to deliver it like that was incredible.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed with myself today because I went very deep. I know it's not the easiest year, finally this year for me, mentally. But I'm very happy because I fight until the end and I'm just trying my best to inspire people and just show that it's not finished until it's finished, until the end, yeah.
And for you, part of the inspiration was this home course, this home crowd. How much did that lift you when you really needed it?
Well, it was definitely a race I wanted to do when I knew it was happening. And even if I was tired mentally, I was like, come on, Cass, last push. If I do well, then maybe I will have just one more race in grand final. So this year I try to race less, but focus and be at my best.
And that last lap with Jeanne pushing the gas and you kind of having to hang on, it looked like there was a gap forming there and then you just really had to dig in and bite the bullet.
Yeah, that's proof again, I'm still here and I'm not ready to give up, so you will have to push harder to make me suffer more.
I hope Cassandre got scared about me. The moment I passed in front, I was like, this afternoon I wrote some sentence and one was, don't run in front. And so I was, oh my God, when I passed, I was like, my coach will probably wrote me during the race, Jeanne, what are you doing right now? But then for a moment, I thought maybe, I knew with Cassandre it would be very, 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 very hard to win. But I was maybe this strategy will be good. But at the end, no, but I really tried everything I could. I didn't really have strategy because the plan was to not run in front. So I didn't know when to leave, when to start to push. So I was I don't know, I was going with the flow. And it was pretty good. Cassandre is Olympic champion, world champion. So already during the run, one moment I was if I'm forced behind the three French, it will be a good day for them. And it's pretty cool in France. But I was if I can mess up the plan a bit, it would be nice. So I think I did the job. So I'm happy.
Congratulations, a brilliant third. And digging in to pip your teammate Emma to the post there.
Yes, I am very sorry for Emma. Because I finished 3 and Emma again 4, but the very very amazing race, being my public is very very amazing.
You made it hard for yourself. You said it wasn't your best swim, and the start of that bike, you really had to work hard.
Yes, my swim was very very hard, and the bike very very hard, and the run is very very hard too. But finally, for the last kilometre, okay, let's go for the podium in my house.
And just then the timing splits there. Not far away at all. Jeanne Lehair finished 6 seconds back, but in truth it was a lot closer right up until the final few stages of that race. Jessica Fullegar, I wonder what she'll have to say about that penalty that she got. Frustration, I'm sure. 10 seconds that she had added on and would have put paid to being able to challenge a little bit further up.
Yeah, notice Katia Shah made it into that top 20 as well. She had a solid run. She had an awful crash earlier on in the year and has taken a bit of time to get back into racing. So brilliant to see her back racing. And of course on that page there, Maya Kingma showing how multi-talented she is in 2025.
So a couple of DNFs at the bottom. Rosa Maria Tapia Vidal and Manami Ajama both not finishing. And let's take a look at how that leaves the standings in the World Triathlon Championship Series. And Cassandre Beaugrand there with 2,925 points. She's almost close to a perfect 3,000, but she's taken a commanding lead today. A really pivotal day, you would think, in the overall season-long narrative that we've got here. Leonie Periault sitting in second, Jeanne Lehair in third, Beth Potter in fourth, and Lisa Tertsch in fifth.
Emma Lombardi there shot herself up into 13th place, so she's still only got 2 results, whereas most people have 3, so she's rocketing up the rankings, and I expect we'll see her even closer to the top come the grand final in Wollongong.
Representing France, Cassandre Beaugrand.
huge draw there, Vince. I think 90% of the fans, like you said earlier, come here to support Cassandre. I think you're probably right.
Yeah, no, she did make a big move into the heart of the French supporters with this Olympic medal, Olympic gold medal, definitely, and she's kind of the new icon of everything that sport can carry. But I mean, we know how important is women in sport now and all that, and I think Cass is really carrying that on her shoulders and trying to push young ladies to practice sport.
The current leader of the 2025 World Triathlon Championship Series rankings, representing France, Cassandre Beaugrand.